Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. We're checking out Assassin's Creed Shadows today. This is kind of a big release from Ubisoft. They say on the internet, of which I am on right now, that this is the make or break game for Ubi. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Ubi's going to go under because this doesn't do well or this does do well. No idea. That sounds like hype to me. Also, what sounds like hype is the fact that this is the worst Assassin's Creed ever made. Also, what sounds like hype is that this is the best Assassin's Creed, and I've heard all these opinions out there in the interwebs. So, I'm gonna cut through the crap.
This is horseshit! Horseshit! Ah, horseshit!
Okay, and just give you my opinion of having played this nice little video game here. This nice little video game set in feudal Japan, which is something that Ubi's been promising quite a long time, Montreal, because there was like if I remember right, there was like a seed of this idea buried in an Abstergo server something thread somewhere in one of the old Assassin's Creed games. So we knew that this kind of thing was coming a long time. We didn't know if it was going to be samurai or ninja, and it turns out it's both. So here's the thing with this Assassin's Creed. It's not going to convince non-AC fans that this series is suddenly the best thing since sliced sake. Sorry, my illusion button broke. But it's also definitely not the worst AC game ever made. There's a lot of value here. The only thing I found about it is after, I don't know, maybe putting 20 hours in or so, that's when I started to realize that I wasn't really seeing anything new from it. Which is kind of the mark that I give for a lot of Assassin's Creed games. I've been playing Assassin's Creed since the very first game. I've played every single one. The vast majority of them on launch. And yeah, I have favorites. Black Flag is a favorite. Actually, Origins is a favorite too. I kind of liked Origins and Odyssey even. And even Valhalla was good for, what it was, and it had the cool Viking thing going. It was bloated. That's kind of the thing with modern AC. They're kind of bloated. And this kind of isn't really different. It gives you a few new things, a few new wrinkles. The cultural setting alone and the historical setting is new. Now, Ubi's also been under fire for claiming complete historical accuracy, when of course they have no business doing so, because, this is a video game, and as they say at the beginning of every Assassin's Creed, it's a multicultural team of lots of different faiths and beliefs and places that they come from, and, they try their best. But the problem is Ubi kind of was like, yeah, this one's super accurate, and guess what? People who actually know the culture, who live in the culture, they're like, not so much, guys. You kind of screwed up a few things here. You kind of bastardized our culture. So there's a lot of controversy around this. There's a lot of controversy about everything that ever comes out ever anymore in 2025, but this one's got some heat cooking under it, right? So I can't really speak to the cultural angle because I'm not, I'm an American. I don't, this is not my purview. I can say that I know that they try their best with this historical thing, but look, it's a lot easier to make, say, ancient Egypt or piracy, again, going back to Black Flag under the, the kind of Victorian era. Those people are long gone, and their world is long gone. Well, Japan isn't. Japan is still there. Trust me. So there's stuff with that. But leaving that aside, what I really found with this game is that the combat, okay, and the stealth, the assassination portion. So with this game, you've got two different assassins. You've got basically what amounts to, this is simplified, but a samurai and a ninja, okay? The ninja is more like the traditional assassins of old. The samurai is a bruiser. He's a tank. He can take a beating and he can dish it out. He plays very differently from any assassin ever. And actually, I would argue that Yusuke is the name of the character, is really the leap forward as far as gameplay goes, if there is a leap. Which you don't necessarily have to think that there is, because it's pretty much just standard AC stuff. But what I found is that the combat on Yusuke's side and that these stealth assassination portions for the ninja character, they're fine-tuned. They're way better than they've been in a really long time. In fact, the combat is the best I've ever played in Assassin's Creed. Which isn't saying a whole lot, because even games like Origins, which was quote-unquote updated and quote-unquote next-gen, the combat was clunky as hell, okay? Combat's never really been the premium in Assassin's Creed. There's certain ones, like Assassin's Creed 3, I remember, introduced guns for the first time, so that kind of tweaked it a little. But this game, really, they spent a lot of time on the combat. They spent a lot of time on the stealth. The assassination stuff is better than it's been in a really long time. In fact, unlike Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, you really do feel like an assassin again in the traditional AC way, in the traditional Altair, Ezio, traditional Assassin's Creed vein. So that's good. What's not good is the bloat. Again, with the bloat. It's like you bought a computer at Best Buy and half of the hard drive is taken up with ads for other Best Buy products or something like that. The point is that it's longish, but doesn't need to be. Yeah, bloat, and you could argue against that, I suppose, if you want. But that's, to me, the main problem. There's too much bloat again. There's too much same again. And like I said, once I hit the 20-hour mark, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not really seeing much else out of this thing. I'm seeing kind of the same stuff. The only thing that kept evolving was the story, which is fine. It's kind of this tale of revenge and honor. It's not bad. The other thing I want to talk about real briefly is the fact that the world, the traversal of the world, it's tough. Not in the sense that it's like difficult in like a challenging way, but because this is feudal Japan. Feudal Japan, I don't know if you know about this, they didn't have highways, for instance. They didn't have huge, broad mile type, things. You can cruise at 65 miles an hour. You get on a horse and you ride on narrow paths through the woods, and the paths twist and turn, and yeah, you can get off the path and just cut a straight swath through the country. But the forest, the bamboo forest, you can cut the bamboo, but not everything's bamboo. The forests are so thick and impenetrable. This is not the easiest AC to traverse. Again, I think of Origins, just comparison, that's Egypt. Egypt is not quite as foresty, especially the Giza Plateau. Okay, so those are things to consider. To sum up, good Assassin's Creed. Not bad. One of the better ones of the modern era, but that's kind of, again, I like Origins, I like Odyssey, and I kind of like Valhalla too. It's a little bloated. It's a little same after a while. The combat is better. The stealth is better. The traversal's a little tricky sometimes, but the world is absolutely beautiful. I didn't mention that. It's the prettiest AC I've ever seen. It's really nice, which is good because the first thing that happened when I booted it up, my brain kept comparing it to Ghost of Tsushima for PlayStation, and it's not quite as pretty as that, but it's in its own way. It's very beautiful. So I guess that's it. It's not going to convince AC haters that they oughtn't hate, and it's not going to convince AC lovers that they oughtn't love, right? So what I call that is slightly above average. So I'm going to give AC Shadows an 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty well deserved. It's a decent game. Don't buy the hype on either side. In fact, do yourself a favor in the year 2025. Stop buying hype. They're selling it on every street corner. You don't have to buy it every time you pass. It's not like Starbucks. You don't always have to get a low-calf Ventiati or whatever the hell. I don't drink Starbucks. Anyways, that's AC Shadows, everybody. Decent game, 8 out of 10. Okie dokie. Do me a favor, like this video if you did indeed like it. Subscribe to the channel. Get yourself a dual-bladed AC blades and stab a bunch of, not people, fruit. Stab some fruit with the blades and then put the fruit in your mouth because you are not getting enough fruit. I can tell. I'm looking at you right now and your eyes are yellow. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.